Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm here to talk about Almighty God. Who is Almighty God? What are his characteristics? What all can he do and can't he do? Well, Almighty God is the creator of all things. In this world that we live in, he's behind the scenes. We can't see him. We can only read about him in the handbook on learning your beneficial information before leaving Earth, the Holy Bible. When we look at the Holy Bible, it says that God is all-powerful. God has all-knowing. He has all knowledge. And he's a God of love. And he's omnipresent. There's nothing that happens anywhere that he doesn't know about. With all that, why is God allowing us to live in this situation where we're experiencing all these horrors, as well as good things too? But when we read the Holy Bible, it talks about the fall of man, which they ate off the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. What God did with this material realm, because God is a perfect God and creates perfection, but as he creates perfection, he doesn't make robots. He gives each of his beings that he creates a free will. With the existence of a free will, even though you're perfect in every way, you have the freedom to go anywhere you want. One thing was not known to anyone in all of God's creation was what the opposite of God is. Prior to Lucifer going against God, the word good did not exist because there is no known meaning for it. There's no defining factor on what it was. When Lucifer went against God, that manifested all the things opposite of God into reality. God knew this would take place eventually, but he already had a plan to stymie it. He needed evil to pop its head up before he could lop it off. He is destroying evil with, watch this, knowledge. Hence the word, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's what God is doing in this material realm. Prior to this material realm, he's been creating, and all his creations are pure good because they live in a pure good environment with no corruption or disruption whatsoever throughout. But God knew that one day he'd have to deal with this thing that's the opposite of him. He already planned this accordingly. Because he is so perfect and precise, at the moment Lucifer did this, God already had his plan already enacted. He created the opposite type of a realm. God lives in the spirit realm. He created the material realm to somewhat contain this new thing called evil. This spirit realm has no shadows and there's no restrictions. In this material realm, there are boundaries and limits that we can do. Limitations and boundaries all through our system that we have here. And it's created very intricately. Look at our bodies. I don't have to tell my body to move. It just does because I want it to. How can a being like that be created? Well, only Almighty God can do something like that. Look at all the things in our material realm. Our moon and our sun appear the same size. But that's not the truth. The sun is so far away that when the lunar eclipse happens and blocks out the sun, it blocks it out. But God made it so precisely perfect because of the distance there that it looks like they're the same size. Only a perfect being could have arranged all these things so perfectly. If everything in the cosmos and the whole universe was off by just a degree, nothing would work. That's how perfect God is. So let's look at this. If he's so perfect to create all this stuff, create our bodies, all the immune systems in our bodies, the blood veins, the nerves to go everywhere so we can see, feel, taste, touch, or hear in this material realm, just think how great also and intricately done is his grand plan to do away with evil. We don't see that grand plan, but it is just as intricately, precisely done is everything that we see, smell, taste, touch, or hear here on this material realm. God is defeating evil through knowledge, and that's why he named them, meaning Adam and Eve, the man and the woman, he named them Adam. Adam, a dam. God had to create a dam of knowledge. I've already said this in 2 different videos. The most destructive force to God is evil. The most destructive force to man, us, is water. God destroyed man with water 1,656 years after creation. Draw the parallel. How does man hold back large amounts of water? They build a dam. So God had to also build a dam of knowledge to hold back all the evil. To draw the parallel on what God did. Remember, in this world that we live in, there is light and darkness, and the perfect metaphor for it, is good and evil. God used this metaphoric simultaneously, both of these things together, through everything in this material realm. We see by the light of the sun. Us as human beings created by God, if we want to know good, we see by the light of the sun. Jesus is the Son of God. Jesus is the truth of God. Jesus is the light. Jesus is the one that we follow. He is the Son of Man. Why is he called the Son of Man? Because when God's grand plan is over, and we look back at ancient times, the 7-day plan, when God decided to teach all of his creations exactly what good and evil is, Jesus will be the one that was born from man, meaning he was the Son of Man, because Jesus is the only one who can bring us together as a perfect being, bringing us out. Jesus is the Son of Man because he came from man, and he's a perfect example of what man can and will be with him. God is so great that he can do anything. And what his plan is for us to live with him forever and ever in a perfect harmony with no pain, no sorrow, nothing undesirable whatsoever. We'll live with God, and we will live with him forever and ever. He is defeating all things opposite of him by teaching us all here. And in heaven and on earth, all learn. In heaven, they learn by helping God and by watching. On earth, we learn by experiencing it up close in our face. That's why our lives are so short here. God is giving each one of us a vaccination against evil, so that when we are with God in heaven, no one will repeat what Lucifer did to bring about the opposite of God into reality. God is teaching us through this dam of knowledge exactly what evil is. Evil is the necessary defining factor on what good is. God alone is good because God alone only knows what good is. He is teaching us all of that also, so we too can become good. We're in the refining phase of God creating us. God created us in the image of himself. But the image of himself is perfect and pure. And we are not. We're in the refining phase of that creation. So that when this is over, we too will be perfect and good. That's how great God is. I hope you guys understood all that. I hope I didn't leave nothing out. God bless you guys. I love you all, my brothers and sisters, and see you next video. Ancient Times.